Hello and welcome back to 321stamp.com. I'm Stampin' Up! Demonstrator Catherine Harwood, and I want to show you how to make this little circle treat holder today. Behind the camera once again is my daughter Riley using the flip camera. And so the really neat thing about this is it starts out as a 6-inch circle. It's actually embossed with the Big Shot, so I'm going to show you how to do that. And then it's folded into this little holder that holds a 3-inch square little note card, a little Easter note card, and behind that a little Ghirardelli chocolate square. So that's a fun thing to do as well. All right, well, let us show you the tricks for that. This is the circle scissor, and it basically has a dial that lets you cut circles ranging from about 1 inch all the way up to 6 inches in diameter. And you just turn the dial to adjust the size of the circle. We're going to be using the 6-inch circle, and then I recommend that when you pick up your circle scissor, you take out the little thing that lets you do the cutting. You don't want that to go flying away. It also comes with this that lets you hold a pencil or a pen and place it in there as well, and then when you spin it, you're actually drawing a circle. So that's a really neat tool. We recommend that you use the circle scissor with the glass mat, the glass cutting mat, which we sell separately. It gives you the smoothest cut. I've actually tried it with the self-healing mat, and the edges of the circle are a little rougher because of the blade going down in. You want to really secure your paper, so I like to use our Dotto removable adhesive, which just rubs right off the paper. Secure that down to my mat. And then one of the things I really like about the circle scissor is these numbers that show me the sizes of the circles, but they were a little hard to see, so I got this idea from another demonstrator. I just stuck a couple of white address labels on the back. You can see right behind my numbers, and with that white backing, they're so much easier to see. So great trick. Now, what I like to do is put this area where I have my to hold it, because I'm right-handed, I like to put it over toward the left. If you're left-handed, just reverse everything. And I like to then spin this, and I can see where the notches in this little section are that are going to determine where the cut is, and I can make sure that as I spin it, none of that goes off the edge of my paper. And so that's really, really important. So you get a nice secure fit, and then I'm right-handed, and I find I get good leverage if I then start my cut over here. I'm not trying to reach around at an awkward angle. So I'm going to now line up the little notches on here with the notches in here, and there's a spring, and so until I push down, I'm not actually cutting. So you want to hold nice and secure, and I like to hold over here, and I like to also put a thumb up here, and then all you do is spin, and you can sort of feel when you're back to the beginning, and you've cut your perfect circle, which is a really cool thing. Now, if there's any adhesive, again, that Dotto just rubs right away, but I find that I get much better results when I secure my paper down. Okay, now I mentioned embossing it, so I want to move over here to the Big Shot machine and show you, and I've done videos before, but we're going to go through the textures again. We're going to use tab 1 on the multi-purpose platform. We're going to use, I like to sometimes put down a cardstock shim, so I'm going to put a shim. And all a shim does is make my sandwich a little bit thicker so I get a deep impression. This is from the Stampin' Up! Exclusive set of embossing textures plates. It's the Stampin' Up! Set, and this is the swirl design. I'm going to put that face up. I'm going to put my circle, and I want you to notice that the circle's just a little bit wider. So I'm going to just have an edge of it hang off, okay? Just a little tiny bit, and I'm going to slide this over so it'll still fit through the machine, but that's okay. That part is not going to get embossed, and you'll see what we're going to do with that in just a minute. Now I'm going to put down my silicone textures plate, and again, if that part that I'm not really going to emboss hangs out, that's okay. And then I need my impressions plate. So my silicone and then my impressions plate, and then just roll the whole sandwich through the Big Shot. And you don't want to stop when you're texturizing paper, because if you do, you'll get kind of a crease in the paper. You're putting a lot of weight on it. And you have this beautiful texturing. And I cut this with Cameo Coral. My original treat is made out of pretty and pink cardstock and then embellished with some Raspberry Tart Designer Series paper. So this one's just Cameo Coral. But it's a really beautiful texturing. Now that one little area that I couldn't emboss because the circle was just a little too big, I'm going to actually now use the cutter. So Riley's going to show you. I'm going to use just my Fiskars cutter, and I'm just going to slice that part off. I'm basically going to line up my circle so that the little bit that didn't get embossed hangs over, and I'm going to slice it off. What that does is that now gives me a straight line. If I wasn't embossing it, I could just use the whole circle, and for the scoring portion, I just line the edge of the uncut circle up with my measurements. I want to score this 1 3/4 inch from this, which I'm now considering sort of the bottom. So I'm going to switch to the scoring blade on here, and I'm going to line this up at 1 3/4. And that's really easy to do because, like I said, I have a straight edge. Now let me just show you that if I hadn't cut it, it would be just as easy though with a rounded edge to line it up at 1 3/4. Okay, so don't worry about that too much. So line it up 1 3/4, make a nice straight score line. And now you have 2 straight lines that you can use as guides to make your score lines. And you want to score 1 1/4 inch over from each side edge. And again, what I can do is use this score line that I made or this straight edge, and I just pick any horizontal line on my cutter base to line that up with, and I'm going to line up this edge with 1 1/4. And that's how I know that this score line is perpendicular to that. So don't make this more confusing than it is. It's just that I need to now score the other side. So again, I'm lining this up with a horizontal line, lining this edge up with 1 1/4, and the result is that I can fold this up for the bottom, fold in my sides, and you've got your treat holder. Now, a little belly band around it that I've cut 8 inches long by 1 inch thick. You can see this little belly band that's around the treat holder to hold it closed. And just a little trick here, there's a lot of pressure being put on the belly band. So where the seam is right here, I either want to put a little focal point, such as maybe this little punched out flower. If I put that over this, I would want to have a little dimensional adhesive dot to either side of the seam, and that way that's going to help hold it closed. Or in the case of this design, the ribbon really helps also support the belly band so that nothing's going to pop open. And you can put a little bit of adhesive here, and then here and here to also help hold it closed. But it just makes a really cute little pocket that you can slide a treat into. So thanks so much for watching the circle scissor in action, the textures plates, and enjoy making your little circle treat holders, which would be a wonderful gift at a wedding reception or a little birthday party, or just any time that you want to give someone a little gift. And again, you can put a card and a little hidden chocolate treat inside. Enjoy. See you next time.